Here is another example of when you elect Democrats to take over your state, you're going to see stuff like this. Like 60% of Oregon counties are facing a budget shortfall, and you won't believe some of the stuff we're about to expose and show you. This is why elections matter. Let's get into it. How's it going, everybody? Happy April Fool's Day. It's Tuesday, April 1st. If you're watching this today, if you're watching this on another day, just know that every single day in Oregon and blue states like it is April Fool's Day, because we have literal fools running our government, running our everything under the sun here, and you're seeing the results of it, aren't we? Where our kids are dumber. We're seeing budget shortfalls everywhere. The homelessness crisis here in Oregon and Portland still isn't solved. Yeah, every day is April Fool's. But welcome to the channel. I was on a trip this last 4 days. I was on a trip to go see family in Vegas. Had a great time there. Reminded me of how gross, producer Vlad, Vegas can be. I mean, the parts on the strip when I was walking down, it was just like, dude, what is this city? Like, why do people love coming here? It was so dirty. You had pictures of naked girls on the ground. It smelled like weed everywhere. It was just, it was gross. And then meanwhile, you see kids. You still see kids. Parents bringing their kids there. Why would you bring your little kids to Vegas? Anyways, we're getting off track here. Like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you follow me at Dave Medina PDX across all social media. Feels so good to be back, man. I can't wait to be able to do this every day when I don't have to manage a company and do all this other things. But one of the first things, and producer Vlad, he's back there blowing his nose left and right because he's got allergies, and we pray for him. And he's got a nice haircut, man. Your hair looks nice, dude. Where'd you get it cut at?
Great Clips.
Are you serious? That's a great look. Turn to the camera. That's a Great Clips haircut.
Barber.
Look at producer Vlad, dude. What a freaking stud.
She's a manager.
What a stud, dude. We're going to have to beat the chicks away from you because you're a married man. He's a married man, ladies. He's a married man. Don't touch producer Vlad. Don't DM him. Don't reach out to him. He is a married man. He's got an awesome wife, by the way, who loves video games and loves movies and stuff and has a British accent when she wants to, apparently. She loves doing a British accent. But dude, This is what I wanted to talk about. Kind of like the first video coming off a little break was more incompetence. If there's anything, I want to keep hitting on these stories because the closer we get to the 2026 election here in Oregon in the midterms, we need to be exposing stuff like this because there is a never-ending trail of incompetence from the Democrats here in Oregon and across the country, if that. And if you're not living in Oregon, you're like, oh, this is not really something I need to know. Yes, it is, because this is incompetence and the mismanagement and of budgets and ridiculous irresponsible spending is not something that's exclusive to the Oregon Democrats. It's literally, we saw it in the Joe Biden administration. We saw it across the country, but this is more of a reason for you to look into your own state and see how your Democrats are spending, because they're all alike. They all copy each other, especially on the left coast of Washington State, Oregon, and California. They all seem to adopt the same policies and have the same spending habits. And once again, the taxpayer, us law-abiding taxpayer citizens, are gonna be on the hook to pay all this. Our property taxes, they are trying to increase our property tax here in Oregon more than the 3% that they can already increase, that it goes up per year. They are allowed legally to increase. By the way, property taxes should be illegal. That's another video we can do on another day. Property taxes in general are illegal. I mean, is that not what we threw the tea in the frickin' harbor for, producer Vlad? Is that not what we went to war with Britain for, was taxation without representation? And we're being taxed like 1,000 times worse than we did back then. And we just got the little sheep that just keep voting for you. Oh, you can keep voting DEI, yeah, purple hair. I want girls to have penises. Like literally. Meanwhile, we're getting taxed out the yin yang, and our leaders aren't. See, here's the thing: if you're going to tax us out the yin yang, I want the gold, the streets to be paved with gold. I want everything to be. But see, that's not the case. That's not the case. They still haven't solved the homelessness problem in Portland. They still haven't. Our streets are literally in never-ending construction here in the state, and our kids are dumb. Our kids are getting dumber by the year. We're like the last in reading, writing, and math. Producer Vlad, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, not only are
just chime in. You don't have to have me.
Not only are our streets not paved in gold, they're actually paved in.
They're not even paved.
Well, they're not even paved, but in downtown Portland, they're paved by homeless people and their problems.
Dude, So 60% of Oregon counties. So basically there are 25 Oregon counties in the state that are saying we cannot meet our but we have more expenditures than we have money coming in, right? So what's their grand solution to this? Is it to be more responsible when it comes to spending? Maybe stop funneling millions of dollars to nonprofits that aren't doing anything for our state, like our nonprofits that deal with homelessness. Maybe like Oregon was given $6 billion for COVID relief for education. What do they do with that money? What are they doing with this money? Because we're not seeing results. And so you have 25 Oregon counties who are saying, and we're going to focus on 2 of them, which is Washington County here in the greater Portland area, and then the Portland metro, and then the Portland county of Multnomah County. We're going to focus on both of those, but let me just show you the story real quick. So there might need to be cuts with sheriff offices, other programs within the counties might need to be cut. And, I say good, because a lot of these programs need to be cut. I'm not really talking about like sheriff and everything. Maybe, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like other programs, like programs that like there's, I promise you, if you go do some like research, you'll see there's some DEI programs that are happening. What about just like the Oregon's policies, just off the top of my head, where they give free healthcare and free food stamps to illegals? How much is that costing us? See, we could be here all day nitpicking every single budget crisis, every single expenditure, that every single irresponsible item that Oregon Democrats, and I'm going to say Oregon Democrats because they are in charge. They are in charge of all branches of government here in Oregon. And I could be here all day telling you each item of ridiculous spending. Why are we giving illegals free healthcare and free food stamps while us Oregonians are struggling? And your guys' solution to this, to all these shortfalls, is to increase property taxes even more. Our property taxes are already ridiculous.
We're literally already paying for all of it, and they just want us to pay even more for all of it.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough money that we're paying to cover all of it.
I would love Doge to come in and look at Oregon, because I promise you think you're shocked with what they're finding in DC and with on the federal level. I promise you, if we had like a Doge look in like to what Oregon, exactly every dollar Oregon taxpayer money is going to, you would be shocked. I mean, another example is like the homelessness problem in Portland. They have a $104 million shortfall in the homelessness program. And if you follow people like Kevin Dahlgren, who's the homelessness activist in Portland, he exposed one of those spending issues where they basically buy new tents like so often for these homeless people, only to clean them up, throw them away, and then give them more tents. It's like a cycle of waste, because they want to see, we're cleaned up. Then they give homeless people more. I wish there. I mean, I think we don't have the video pulled up on that, but I didn't tell you. That's okay, producer Vlad. But it's just incompetence. The theme of this whole thing is incompetence, and it's why. I mean, look at property taxes. And if you don't know about property taxes, it is assessed by your home value. That's how much you're paying, and it goes into your mortgage payment. I mean, that with insurance, with your principal that you owe the bank. Property taxes go into what you pay monthly for your mortgage. And so these people are saying that we have a housing crisis here in Oregon. They're saying that the homelessness problem, how do we solve it?
And the housing is one of the most unaffordable in the country.
And their solution is to tax the homeowners
to make it even more unaffordable.
I mean, guys, this is like Oregon Democrats in a nutshell. Create the problem, enable the problem, find the solution that creates more problems and enables those problems even more. That's literally the Democrats in a nutshell. And if you see the taxes by state, Oregon ranks 25th, and this is the 2023. Oregon ranks 25th. I mean, we have higher property taxes now. Of course, California's housing is more, their housing prices are higher. But I mean, our tax percentage is higher than California's for 2023. And so what's their solution? Well, this expert with purple hair went on K2 and gave her solution.
This is brand new tonight, a K2 investigation into an effort that could make your property taxes go up if you live in the state of Oregon. It comes as a lot of cities and counties stare down multi-million-dollar budget shortfalls.
It's not because what they're about to tell you, which is, we have an out of date tax system. You know, when someone buys a house today, they're going off a tax system back in the 90s. They're not going off of they're not including inflation and all these rising costs. Maybe that has a little bit to do with it, but that is not the problem. The problem is your irresponsible spending and your incompetence on how to manage budgets here in Oregon. That is one of Oregon's biggest problems. And they always blame outdated. One thing that Oregon Democrats and Democrats in general are very good at doing, they're very good at fudging numbers and making it seem like they did it with a beautiful example of that is the graduation rate. Well, our kids are getting dumber and our graduation rate is going down. What can we do to fix that? How about invest in teachers, get the woke stuff out, stop chasing families away because there's declining enrollment. How about you actually teach reading, writing, and math and actually do, okay, so no, that's not a good solution. So what do? We create more DEI programs for the kids and we chase more families away, declining enrollment. That means less revenue, less taxes coming in. And we throw that money at things like, I don't know, producer Vlad, help me out. Anyways, just they'll throw it at anything, but how do they remedy that? They remedy that by saying, oh, let's just get rid of the standards for graduation for graduates. So now you can graduate with D's and F's, right? But they won't make that the story. They'll make the story, look, Oregon, we're doing something right. Graduation rates are increasing. This is a theme. I've worked in Oregon government. I worked for the state of Oregon. I saw it even on the micro level of where I worked at. Oregon Democrats, how they get away with this with their voters, with their just ignorant voters, is they fudge numbers and then they take headlines out of those and they only extract one little thing like, oh, high graduation rates are increasing. We're doing something right. Keep throwing money at education. That's literally what they do. Never mind that. What did you do? What did you have to do to increase those graduation rates though? Are our kids nope, because they can't hide everything because it always gets exposed in the end. Nope. We're actually last. Our kids' test scores are actually almost last in the nation. And so that's the same thing they're doing here. Is they're saying, well, our failures for being irresponsible spenders and our incompetence, it's the outdated system's fault, and we got to raise taxes. That's literally Oregon Democrats. Get rid of the cultural issues, the trans issues, all that kind of stuff. This is the major issue of incompetence when it comes to Democrat leadership right here.
Many local governments blame their budget problems on Oregon tax laws. They want lawmakers to start the process to change them. Taxpayers may be wary.
Taxes keep going up.
It's a kitchen table issue for longtime East Portland homeowner Dave Gatman.
Grand total $51.46.
That's nothing. I love to pay that.
Figuring out where those tax dollars are going.
I don't even know what lock opt is.
Wondering more and more often what it's paying for.
It's like, okay, you've taken a bunch of money, but I'm not seeing any impact on what I see on the streets.
Right.
Polling shows Dave is far from alone. The Portland Metro Chamber shared polling this year showing 7 in 10 Metro voters felt their taxes were too high for the services they get. Now, local governments across Oregon say these tax bills sent to property owners aren't paying the government's bills.
I'm telling you right now, you think that what DOJ is finding federally is bad? I promise you, if DOJ came to Oregon and did a deep dive in Oregon, you guys would be shocked at what your money is going to, what they're hiding. And you know how they hide it? It's a simple accounting trick. All they do is they can put in line items like they did in Multnomah. They just say professional services. And then they make you either dig or they don't tell you exactly what those professional services are. You'd have to really, 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 really dig to see where that's going or do a Freedom of Information Act with the county to see exactly where that money is going. Like they make you work for it or they just don't reveal it through simple accounting tricks. That's what they do.
K2 is on your side, digging into why.
The system at its core is broken, right? So it's completely flawed.
Jenna Jones is a tax and economic development lobbyist for the
Notice that the system that this pink-haired person is telling us, I swear they just went and got someone from PSU. Hey, give us a student that can just say the script. Literally, notice that the problem is always on the system, on the outdated this, and this is broken. Why don't you include the other problems, which are probably the majority of the problems, like the irresponsible spending, like how Oregon Democrats keep throwing money at the education issue, the homelessness issue, and nothing gets solved. Why don't we make cuts where there needs to be made cuts? How much are the nonprofits receiving here in Oregon? The nonprofits that in turn fund the Democrats around election season. It's just a cycle that keeps going. Why aren't those questions being asked? It's always someone else's fault to these people. It's always the outdated laws. And if you know what, and when all of that fails, just cry racism. Just cry racism and bigotry. Oh, you know, our Constitution is racist and bigoted, and that's why we're failing. I mean, this is what they do, guys. And this is why I'm happy to do what I'm doing, because, you know, I love that I have a platform that I'm able to expose these clowns where I actually have people watching.
The organization represents cities across the state. It found dozens of local governments are reporting budget shortfalls this summer. The headline is
I'm sorry, real quick. Did you hear what he just said? She represents these counties across the state. Do you really think they're going to send someone in and have someone represent them that's going to put the blame on them? No, they're going to say, hey, find a way to get us out of this so we can meet our budget and so we can have more money. And make it seem like at the end of the day, we just want to tax people more because we're so irresponsible with our spending and we don't want to look at ourselves. So we need more taxes, but we need you to come up with a story to make it seem like it's not our fault or it's not their fault. We can just blame it on the outdated system. Perfect.
$3 million shortfall in Portland. Washington County leaders highlighted others in a recent budget meeting, though. $20 million in Washington County, $21 million in Multnomah County, $10 million in Beaverton, and $11 million in Eugene, just to name a few.
Property taxes, which are their main revenue sources, are just not enough to pay for general government services.
Local
So
governments
make
put
cuts.
their money problems at the feet of Measures 5 and 50. Voters approved them in the 90s. Put simply, Measure 5 limits property taxes in proportion to a property's real market value.
Yep.
Measure 50 caps assessed property value growth at 3% a year.
So they're trying to get rid of those two measures that were, and you always hear the Democrats say that Trump's going against the will of the people and democracy, yet they're always trying to change the laws that have been passed by Oregonians that have already talked about this and said, no, we don't want I mean, if it were up to me, there'd be no property taxes, but 3% annually that your property taxes can be capped at, and they're wanting to get rid of these things that Oregonians have already spoken on. And it's like, dude, you know, man, I have so much to say here.
This reminds me of how they say how like Obama was saying the Constitution is outdated. We should rip it up and write a new one. Like with like the Second Amendment, he's like, they were talking about the single shot muskets when they were talking about firearms. They weren't talking about a semi-automatic rifle where you can shoot 30 rounds in a couple seconds. So it's like, it's kind of like that. Like they're saying it's outdated. We just need to replace it with a new one. Like,
so yeah, exactly.
It's not.
I wanted to point out one more thing when it comes to fudging the numbers. Now she said something particular in there. You want to explain this, producer Vlad? I think you did a great job explaining this. Yeah. I've talked a lot. My voice is starting. But basically she said something like property taxes are the main revenue for these counties. And we looked at one county in particular, which is Washington County. And that wasn't all the way true because as you see right here on the screen, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom it in a little bit. As you see, this is the Washington County right outside of Portland. This is their... Scroll up. This is their those are their expenditures. This is their revenue. Yep. And as you can see right here, current property taxes, they get $242 million in revenue from property taxes. But that's not the main revenue. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the main revenue comes from the intergovernmental revenues. As you can see, the total revenue from that whole section is $400+ million. And from taxes total, it's only $269 million. But as a subgroup, if you go through all of them, property taxes is the highest individual money earner for them at $242 million. Mm-hmm. So technically, as a subsection individual entity, they are the highest source of revenue. But overall, there's plenty of other things that make revenue. So it's just
now, why would they do that? You guys might ask, why would they do that? Why would Oregon Democrats do that? Why would Democrats do that? Because when Democrats can find a way to get themselves out of their own mess, it's easier to point the finger. It's literally, you see it in the call. Everything trickles down to the college students, these leftist students. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. There's no like, hey, I messed up and I need to get better as a person. It's always racism's fault. It's always this person's fault. It's always this fault. So they went into this and they said, okay, what can we do to solve this? Let's just, taxes. Oh, wait. Like they looked everywhere. Oh, you mean our tax system is outdated? Oh, perfect. Let's go after that. Let's go after that line item because then we can get money from someone that's not us. We don't have to make cuts. We can still float our money around to these useless causes and these things that don't work, like this homelessness in Portland. Perfect. This is how these people think, man. This is what corrupt government looks like. This is what our founding fathers warned us about. This is what we went to war over for our independence. And you have radical Democrats who are in charge of our budgets here in Oregon and across the nation who don't believe in fiscal responsibility. They don't believe in responsible budgets and making sure that our money, that this is why they're so mad at what DOGE is doing. DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is going in and cutting waste to all of these handouts that these nonprofits and these special interests have been getting. And a lot of people's pocketbooks are getting thin. This is why you're seeing the outrage against Elon Musk, because a lot of people wallets are starting to shrink and they've been getting a handout from the slush fund government for too long. It's the same thing here in Oregon, the same thing that you're seeing here. And so for time's sake, you just see, is there anything more important that we need to hit on in here? Do you think, Producer Vlad? I think we hit the main parts of it.
I think if you go to the Multnomah County tabs to the right, the yellow ones. So this shows kind of like their annual budget this year is $3.96 billion up at the top for the fiscal year 2025.
Okay.
And then if you go to the next tab, it shows they have $280 million in federal grant funds out of that. So the rest of that is state money, state revenue, and so on. So that's less than 10%. I'd say probably like 7.5%.
It's still a big chunk, though.
Yeah, it is.
That could be pulled.
Yeah.
And so what are they going to do for that, guys? Are they going to spend more responsibly? Nope, they're going to try to tax you, which they're trying to do in Portland. They're trying to tax you. Multnomah County is trying to increase your taxes.
Yeah, and I think because you related to that earlier, there's been a population decrease, especially in Multnomah County and Portland.
Portland is on its third or fourth year of population decrease. And what happens when you have population decrease? You have less tax revenue. You have less tax revenue. You have more houses being vacated, which means less property tax revenue. You just heard them. That's a big chunk of their revenue. Okay. For the counties. So when you have people moving away, you have less revenue in schools, less revenue. And it's like, well, how do we, well, it's not our fault people are moving away, the Democrats might say in Portland and in Oregon. No, it actually is, because you guys we have some of the highest business taxes with the CAT tax and other taxes that businesses pay in Oregon. We have the highest business tax in the country. But you guys are pushing DEI stuff in the schools. You're chasing families away. You're not listening to the majority of Oregonians who say they don't want men and women's sports, yet you continue to allow it. You're giving millions of dollars to illegals for housing and for food stamps before taking care of your own people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on how the Democrats are destroying Oregon. I mean, it says the logging industry.
Yeah, so the timber industry is down, and just everything is bad. And what
the timber industry,
all they've done is just increase the budget.
And a lot of the timber industry can't explode because they're being tied down by these climate groups and these Democrat-led climate groups. Yeah. And guys, if we don't get involved, this is going to get more out of control, where you're going to see us become like San Francisco. I'm talking for the whole state. There's a reason why half the damn state wants to move to Idaho, because they are going to be affected by this. They are being affected by this. A lot of the state funding, half of Oregon's state funding comes from the federal government. Why are we so dependent on the federal government when we don't need to be? We have the resources here. We have the economy here. This is why you don't allow Democrats to rule and this is why you don't sit out on elections. Okay. So, hey, if that video helped you out, do me a favor. We would love to do more videos like this. We'd love to be more active. We need your support. If you go to thedavidmedina.com, we're on a spring drive right now that we'd love to raise a certain amount of money to be able to do this. Go to thedavidmedina.com and you'll see a tab there to donate. Feel free to donate to us, to what we do here. It goes straight to our work. Everything you see here, all the production, all the stuff that we're doing has been funded by people, patriots just like you. And then a big thing is, if you can't give, you can like and subscribe to this channel. You can share this video. That helps us just as much. Share this video, push this video out. Tell somebody, hey man, I know this isn't a sexy topic like property taxes and taxes. It doesn't sound, but this guy makes it sound interesting. I hope I do. That's my goal, is to make it make sense, right? I don't want to get on here and say big words, even that I don't understand. I want to try to dumb things down for all of us so that we can understand just how much these Democrats are destroying our state and our country. And honestly, thank God for DOGE, because it's showing just how high the corruption goes. Elon Musk just announced yesterday, that someone was going to be arrested today for stealing 400,000 social security numbers and selling them to illegals. 10 million illegals were given social security numbers. I mean, and this is all being funded. This is all funded by U.S. aid and all the other stuff that was being funded by U.S. aid that has nothing to do with making the American lives better. So anyways, like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me across all social media at David Medina PDX. Appreciate you joining me. We'll see you on the next one.